What is the funniest, real-life story you can tell? I am an American in China and I arranged a meeting with a guy from Germany. I go to his hotel. He says, "I'm coming down in the elevator." The elevator opens and the only Western face I see is a guy looking for me, or so I thought. He introduces himself with a thick accent. We talked for half an hour before we both figured out that we were supposed to be meeting other business persons. And, yep, there they were in the elevator area waiting for us. Another American and a German. Go figure. I had a friend whose roommate had a large German Shepherd dog. One day when she came home from work, she found him playing with the next-door neighbor's kid's pet bunny, dead. She panicked and gave the bunny a bath, blow-dried it, and placed it back in its cage, afraid to tell the neighbors that her dog killed it. A couple of hours later, they heard the neighbor's kid screaming hysterically. It turns out the bunny had died and they had buried it, and her dog had dug it up to play with it. My dad called the cops on me because he thought I was a hooker. I was outside of my own home. My ex-boyfriend's mom had her eye makeup tattooed on, and sent her kids, who lived with her at the time, to the store for a couple of things. It wasn't until my ex and his brother were in the checkout line, receiving funny looks from the clerk, that he realized that they were two lone men buying nothing but cucumbers and Vaseline, which his mom wanted to soothe the swelling from her eyes. My ex panics and blurts out, "No, it's okay, Hess my brother," while gesturing to his brother. They received major underscore faces. He just stopped talking, figured there was nothing he could do to salvage the situation, and just accepted the judgment. I gave out exlax brownies in high school and one of my friends shit himself during a basketball game. The pastor asked, "Why did you all come here to church this morning? Just to see me?" Little girl loudly goes, "PFFT, no." Pretty sure it was his own kid, to smile. I used to lock my bike to a lamppost outside my house. One day, I find it is still there, but the lamppost has gone. Two of my drunk friends go into the bathroom together since they both really had to pee. One starts peeing and the other can't hold it. So he knees down a little bit and tries to pee in the same toilet right behind the first guy from between his legs. He peed all over the dude in front of him. It was funny when they came out the bathroom laughing and trying to explain themselves. My older brother and I were helping my uncle move a washer into his buzzet. My uncle gets down on the stairs with my brother and I at the top. We grab the washer. My uncle says, "Got it?" We say yes. He moves it slightly. We lose our grip and yell nope. So our uncle, a large 300 pounds man, goes down 2 steps before jumping the remainder. Washer survived, uncle survived, brother and I burst into laughter at a job well done. Grade 10 high school sociology. We were doing projects on different social issues. This one girl named Courtney, typical blonde ditz, had to report on the project of euthanasia. 2 months later, time to report. What does she report on? She brings up a Bristol board of kids from Asia, euthanasia. I knew a guy named Charlie Case, his son name is Justin Case. My cousin told me this story this summer. He was at a club flirting with this older lady, mid-40s. They both have had some drinks and they start getting really touchy. One thing leads to another and she starts jerking him off under the bar. They eventually make it to her car and start having sex. Afterwards they get dressed and go their separate ways. About a year later my cousin is at his friend's graduation party and his friend calls over his mom. "Hey mom, meet blah blah." Turns out the older lady my cousin had sex with was his friend's mom. My dad is kind of a quiet, sweet old guy. One time I asked him if he would buy me breast implants for my 18th birthday. He deadpanned, "I'll pay for one so I can call you Biggie Smalls." A friend of mine and I were going for a walk around midnight. We live in a pretty quiet area, perfectly safe. Anyway, we walked past this laundromat across the street, and Terry's a drunk potentially homeless man right outside. He sees us walking and calls out, "Michael?" My friend, being the sheltered kid he was, said, "No, I'm his son." Told this story before, but one time me and my girlfriend were 69ing and I sneezed into her nether regions. Her reaction was quite comical. I'm very proud of my beard. I've been growing it for 6 months, trying to get to a yard. So Sunday night, I'm at a friend's birthday party. We're all down behind the house having a great time roasting marshmallows over a fire. My friend Rebecca toasts a marshmallow perfectly golden brown. I watch her do it and am inwardly impressed by her skill. Something distracts me. I look back just as Becca smears 2 handfuls of gooey marshmallow all over my face. Now my beard is covered in marshmallow. I was so shocked I fell over. She's darn lucky sugar dissolves in water. My brother's friend J.B. had moved out of state for college. When he moved back, he went to get his out-of-state license converted. At the DMV the man gave him a hard time and said he couldn't abbreviate his name. To which he replied, "That's my name, It's not abbreviated. The man insisted that he couldn't use an abbreviation and that he would have to refill out the paperwork. As he was filling out the line for his first name, he wrote J only, B only. When he got his license back, his name was Jonely Bonely. Quite a while back, I was on Skype with a few friends, and when someone decided to host a call, I told them that I wouldn't be able to talk because, back then, I lacked a microphone. At this point, I feel it is necessary for me to point out that in Fiji, where I'm from, Q-tips, or cotton buds, are also known as earbuds. Back to the story. One of them suggested that I plug a pair of earbuds into the microphone jack on my computer, saying that they were an adequate substitute for microphones. I think you can all guess what I did. My friends and I were at a local county fair, and there was this exhibit that said "World's Smallest Horse." I kept begging my friends to let me see it, but they didn't want me to get swindled. We passed it 3 times before they agreed to let me go in. I walked into what I thought was the stall, only to see a turtle. I walked out, and said to my friends in the sincerest voice possible, "I'm confused, that's a turtle." Turns out I had walked into the wrong stall. My friends are still laughing about it. Milk chugging. On a field trip. Never seen so much white puke coming from someone's mouth. My friend is a newly graduated nurse. She just got a job at an intensive care unit and is still learning the ways of that particular hospital. She called me the other day to tell me the horrifyingly hilarious thing that she managed to do. Her nurse she was following around left the room and my friend was left alone to take the patient's temperature. As she was in the middle of taking said temperature when the other nurse walks in and yells, "No, that's the rectal thermometer." She said thankfully that the lady with the poop thermometer in her mouth was too out of it to realize what had just happened. Still giggle about this. I got slapped with a jizz-filled condom we found in middle school. I smelled like fish for the whole day. In 4th grade, we had a quiz to which one of the answers was John the Baptist. It was an easy set of questions all in all and most of us kids got perfect scores. Because of this, my teacher was looking through all the scores to see what the few kids got wrong. He gets to one piece of paper, stops, and looks up at my seatmate. "Giovanni," he said sternly. "John above this?" Classmate had asked another guy for the answer, misheard and wrote down something different. In hindsight, 200 plus yellow jackets in my pants sounds pretty funny. In the moment it was not. Dang it, I was just about to ask this question. DLR Girl I was dating snorted my cum. Oh to hell with it, too long of a story to type right now. And I could swear I've already posted the story in another thread but I can't find it now. Got ahead to work, maybe I'll look it up later and post a link. It's a story about a friend, but it's pretty great. So my fiend is sitting at a Waffle House in a corner booth with a female friend of his. He is licking change and sticking it to her forehead. After emptying his pockets, he looks down with a face like a sad puppy. All of a sudden an idea hits him. He gets a grin on his face as he grabs his wallet, pulls something sheeny out and licks it, slapping it on her forehead. She freezes and asks Ujay, "What is that?" Someone completely on the opposite side of the restaurant stands up and shouts, "Ha, that's a condom." Good lord, I don't even know where to start. How about the story about the cowboy rapist midget I met in college that I posted as a comment for another thread? I find it more funny than traumatizing. Adam Sandler once told a story about a time as a child actor when he was on the set of Mr. Belvedere. The actor showed up in all his Mr. Belvedere glory, pimped out in full leisure suit, sat down apparently crushing his testicles and had to be rushed to the hospital. I went to a strip club, and a stripper bought me a drink. In high school I used to have chemistry first period, and I had this teacher who was really awkward, like just plain creepy. She wouldn't even move her lips when she talked. One day she said something I can't even remember what it was, but one of the guys in my class pointed out that she'd made a contradicting statement. She saw her mistake and said it Monday. It wasn't Monday, it was Wednesday. She got fired a few months later because a bunch of guys were saying she was making sexual passes at them. Like I said, she was creepy. People are sad in real life,